Welcome to the American Glutton Social Club, where you share your stories with us and we share them with everybody else. Paige, who do we have today?
Today, we are hearing from Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
Sophia says, "My name is Sophia and I have a binge eating disorder. I'm 28 years old, a stay at home mom and wife. I weighed almost 300 pounds in March of 2021, and I have been morbidly obese most of my life due to traumas involving domestic violence, recent pregnancy loss, and sexual abuse as a child."
Oh, boy.
She says, "I have lost 75 pounds in 7 months with weightlifting and eating like a bodybuilder."
That is awesome, Sophia. That is awesome.
So awesome. She says, "I have finally been able to manage my eating disorder. My depression and irritability has subsided. I'm no longer yo yo dieting and starving myself, and now my marriage is better than ever." She
You know,
goes on to
I,
say,
I just want to
"Nope.
say this thing too, because I have that compulsion to binge eat or eaten to the point of being like sick. And I don't really do that anymore. But I will say that when I have that urge, or when I think it's taken a long time, but a lot of that has been solved just with eating um, foods that, if eaten in a gross abundance, are not going to be harmful. So,
Mhm,
like we talked about once, eating an entire head of celery. An entire head of celery is not, you will not gain weight eating an entire head of celery. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
eat as many calories as you want and a head of celery, and the head of celery is going to make no difference. Eat in a caloric deficit and a head of celery, and the head of celery is not going to throw you out of your deficit, right?
Mhm,
Or any of these things. It's a ton of fiber and water, and the
mhm,
energy that's contained within it is mitigated by chewing the celery, right?
mhm,
So I suppose there's some universe where you could cut it into pill-sized shapes and swallow it, and then you're not chewing it. Like, you could get around it, maybe, but I think that your body digesting it would still have to work harder than the energy it's applying. So my point is just saying, also, like boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I would challenge anybody, and this is a little bit like the keto people who kind of have, or some of them who have this claim that, like, if you just switch over to a fat-based diet, you won't overeat. And, like, maybe for some people that's true. For me, it was
mhm,
not true ultimately, or it wasn't true all the way to my end goal. It was true for
mhm,
some portions of my weight loss.
mhm,
Um, but I challenge you to overeat chicken breast, right? No barbecue sauce, no, ranch dressing, just chicken breast. It's tough.
mhm.
It's really tough. Like, I would much rather overeat a ribeye steak than
Mhm.
overeat chicken breast.
Yeah.
So if you're eating these kinds of food, like a food that is 90 or 90 plus percent protein, or 90 or 90 plus percent water and fiber, it's going to be tough to overeat. And so, for somebody who has that compulsion, like I did, I've found um, forcing myself to snack on a bag of broccoli to be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Not not fun. It's not giving me
It's
maybe
not
the
as fun.
dopamine doses that a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos is going to give me, but
Right.
I am getting something. It's like you're quitting smoking, right? And so people will sometimes, like, chew gum, or do something, or use a toothpick. I'm saying both of those things because those are two things I implemented. But
Mhm,
this, like, you're cutting yourself off there's a really tricky part with the nicotine, because that is an addictive substance. But then
mhm,
there is also, like, the hand to mouth. You miss that. Like, I missed that for a long time. So you can
mhm.
still have aspects of that in a different form. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sophia also graduated college magna cum laude and
Wow,
holds a
that's amazing.
4.0 for my psychology degree. And she says, I will complete that next year. And she says, we also bought a house.
Wow.
So, yeah, it sounds like she did such a huge turnaround in all areas.
She fully did like a COVID level up.
I know. That's right. She says, weightlifting, bodybuilding, nutrition, and accepting my eating disorder allowed me to find my true self, improving my marriage and the environment we raise our kids in as well, and setting an example for my two daughters. I never wanted to be skinny, I just wanted to be strong. When I saw Ethan's transformation, it struck a chord with me. I could relate to his journey and the hundreds of attempts and diet journeys that he made. That was me too. I want the opportunity to share my story and speak with Ethan because I know we are not the only ones with this experience. And I want women to know it's okay to eat, and muscles are just as sexy and healthy.
That's amazing.
So,
I think there is something also to that, like going, I have this thing that I like to do, or that I'm compelled to do, or that I seem to find myself doing a lot. And I'm having a hard time turning that off, right?
mhm,
So whatever it might be, and is there a way to gently alter that thing so that you're still doing it? You're not saying like I just have to will myself through not doing this thing, but is there a way to turn that into something else, right? Not quite sublimation, which would be like I have the urge to punch somebody in the face, so every time I do that I'm going to go paint a painting, right? That's like
mhm,
fully just changing it, like you're just going to put that energy into something else entirely, which is valid, you can do that.
mhm,
But if you want to take this thing, like this eating disorder, and go like, if I just alter it a little bit, maybe it will do less damage in the way that I'm perceiving it to be doing damage. And so that's
mhm,
what I'm saying. Like, switch out your M&Ms for celery. And this is like old hat dieting 101 stuff, right? Like, nobody wants to snack on iceberg lettuce or cucumbers or something like that. But it is possible, right? You can find something to continue to have this behavior that's currently damaging and just
mhm,
alter it enough to not be as damaging. And not to say that you won't one day be not doing that altogether. Like, if I cannot tell you the last time I sat and ate until I was physically sick with being so full. It just doesn't really happen anymore. But I've been doing this for a long time, right? And
yeah.
and I did at points go like, you know, even if I eat sliced apples, that's better than eating 5 hot dogs at a movie theater,
Mhm, mhm.
which I could also very easily do.
Yeah. No, no, 100%. And I think also like this is it's like you just and you have to surround yourself with those options, because if you don't and you have a tendency towards binge eating, or you have a tendency to, go to those things, like you have to have that stuff around you.
Right.
Otherwise it's harder, like it's just harder.
Yes, sure, there should be. I mean, I think there would have to be some hard and fast rules, like I'm not going to have peanut M&Ms in my house, or whatever
Mhm.
your thing is. I'm not going to
Yeah.
have Doritos in my house. I'm going to have the weird high protein, low fat things in my house, or I'm going
Mhm.
to have a bunch of vegetables and fruits. And then what are the hard and fast rules? I'm not ever calling Instacart to deliver me stuff. Right?
Right.
Is that's a thing, right? Or
Yes, Instacart.
Uber Eats.
Any delivery service, or yeah.
Right. Like, that's off limits. That is a no go no matter what. Because I've also done it where, I go to the store and I buy a bunch of food and I put it in my fridge, and then I'm like, but I don't feel like eating that food. I feel like eating
Mhm.
something else. So I'm going to go get in my car and go get the thing I feel like eating now.
Mhm.
And then the food just, is moldering away in my refrigerator, and then I wind up throwing it. Like, I've done that too. And it's like, no,
Mhm.
there's got to be some real rules put in
Mhm.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Let me show you her photos. So, here is this amazing before and after. Look at how strong and like
Wow.
proud she looks on the after photo.
Yeah, that is
Like
incredible.
tough. And then I love this one too. Is amazing. And I guess we can find her also. This is her Fat Mom Now Fit, which is, I love,
Nice.
like, it's so, I love it. She's like, so, she just looks powerful to me and like so confident. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, she
She's
has a
killing it.
beautiful smile, like no matter what, and she looks like a beautiful person. But like that after of just like that accomplishment is so inspiring.
Yeah, it's
I love
incredible.
it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. And if anyone is watching this and also has some success that they'd like to share, please send it to us at americanglutton.net.